8 students and 4 members of Waynesburg University faculty in one Top Chef arena. Welcome to Waynesburg University's first Top Chef competition. I'm your host, Anthony Kahn, and we have 4 teams of aspiring chefs here today competing for the Top Chef crown. First up, Team Woo Team Cuisine, led by Pat Brister. Half Cup of Heaven, led by Sam Jones. Go Brit or Go Home, led by Yvonne Baldoff. And lastly, but certainly not least, Double Trouble, led by Chris Hardy. And let's introduce our panel of judges. First up, hailing from Stewart Hall, forensic science and chemistry professor Faith Musko, homemade pierogies, snacking on termites, catching and filleting wild salmon on the Copper River's edge. Judge Faith Musko has tried a lot of odd delicacies through her travels to Alaska, Belize, and beyond. She started cooking as a young girl, learned how to prepare traditional Russian and Ukrainian dishes. Faith now shares her love of food with her family and friends wherever she can. Thank you for joining us today. Up next, Professor Beth Mary has been a professor in the communication department for almost 20 years. She's an avid foodie with a huge collection of cookbooks and food magazines. Her cooking experiences include planning and preparing meals for weddings, huge church dinners, graduation parties, and intimate dinners. Professor Mary, thank you for joining us today as well. Sean Saputo is a senior sports broadcasting major who has a significant experience in food preparation, serving as a cook back home at a barbecue restaurant, and enjoys making food for his friends on the weekends. And last up, our judge with 26 years of culinary experience as an instructor at the Greene County CTC, a graduate of Johnson & Wales University in Providence, Rhode Island, Dan Wagner, thank you for joining us. Now contestants, as you see there's a basket in front of you. You're going to get 5 minutes to contemplate what to do with this food, but step up to your tables and let's look in those baskets and see exactly what we have. In your baskets you will find sea scallops, apple blossoms, pepper jelly, and candy corns.
Candy corn. Candy corn. Of all things, candy corn.
So get those brains working. You have 5 minutes starting now to decide what to do with them and how to win Top Chef. 1 minute remaining.
I saw Gordon Ramsay overcooking scallops. He almost threw those people out on the street. You can never overcook scallops. No.
Time is up for conspiring teams. Now it's time for the competition to begin. Once you begin, remember you have to complete a plate for each judge for them to sample to determine whether or not you are worthy of being the next Top Chef at Waynesburg University. Teams, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
It's really exciting. It's something fun. I saw the email and I got excited because I love to cook. And I have a girl on my team who runs her own bakery business and stuff, so I thought it'd be fun to ask her, and then we got another girl from the team, and just something fun to do.
So judges, we have sea scallops in this basket. What do you think they're going to do?
Well, sea scallops is actually a difficult seafood to deal with, and you have to make sure when cooking sea scallops they do not come out too chewy. So you want to make sure you get that to the right temperature and everything when you serve these. Multitude of different options you could use with sea scallops. One thing you could do with an appetizer, like these teams are doing, you could do a bacon wrap scallop. And then you could also do a sea scallop salad for an appetizer. Different ways you could do it. I'd like to see the utilization of maybe the candy corns melted down, turning it into a dressing, using that as an appetizer, and even for the bacon wrap scallops, maybe using the candy corn to melt down, put over top of the sea scallop, maybe add a little sweetness to it.
You don't even know that's delicious. Dude, I'm telling you. It's good.
It's not good.
Well, that's a winner right there, baby. We spend a lot of time together, so I think we're going to be on the same kind of brain waves as we cook today. We're going into it with sort of a strategy that I think will work. So I think we'll be successful. No, it's good, seriously. Oh, anything sweet's good. Come on.
Wait, it's really sweet.
Yeah.
I like the pepper was spicy. Yeah, but
As the teams are looking at their ingredients, they seem to be puzzled as to what to do with the apple blossoms.
It's a very interesting thing when you're working with any type of flowery bud that includes lavender. It's very pungent, it's very potent, so you have to make sure that you're using the right amount of it. And we're watching, the teams, and they're tasting it, they're smelling it, they're getting the feel of the ingredient, which is very interesting.
That is what they have to do. Maybe they'll taste some of the pepper jelly and some of the other things too, but not the raw scallops.
I hope not.
We're going to
No, it's just not balanced. I like to cook, but I'm really kind of nervous, to be honest with you. I just want everything to be quality and good and taste good. 10 minutes! 10 minutes! All right, we're in. Well, it's better with pepper. A little bit. Hi. How are you?
Good.
Are they done, Pat? I'm pretty sure. So I will try one.
I like to cook. I like to eat. So we'll see what happens. Quite honestly, my husband does most of the cooking, so I'm a little out of practice, but my two teammates seem very excited about it, so I think between the three of us, we'll come up with something very delicious.
We're making a kebab.
A kebab without the kebab.
Yeah, without the stick. Without the stick.
All right. So we got some squash, some zucchini, peppers. What are we thinking for the scallops? Kebab them.
Kebab them with It's sweet, but sauce.
Put the applesauce in with that to make it warm, or do you want it cold?
We want it warm.
Okay, so
But then we're gonna
so
add
dump that in there. The melting of these.
And we've added a little water. We're gonna add it to the applesauce and make a side dish with our scallops.
I don't know how to read that face. We're doing a sausage scallop combo in the pepper jelly sauce, and we're going to add some raspberries to kind of counteract that really spiciness. And then we're doing a caramel and candy cane melted glaze with an apple sauce that uses the apple blossoms.
Nope, leave that there.
It's sticking to it.
It's okay. Leave it there until it's got a good sear on it, and then you're gonna flip it. Let it stick. If you need to, a little more big. I want them like smushed. Be okay. You can always use it off the heat. Make it pretty. A pretty scoop.
It's kind of hard to
God, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I'll figure it out.
All right, I'm here with Judge Sean Saputo of the Top Chef Cook-Off competition here. Sean, is there anything you've noticed looking around at all these tables so far of these chefs?
Yeah, take a look at the table 3 right here behind us. The utilization of the mint is very key, I believe, especially with a pepper jelly. You want to see something like that be cooled down a little bit. Again, I mentioned earlier on that pepper jelly is something you have to know the quantity of using, especially with a spice that it has, and mint is a very outstanding way to cool things down. Table 4 over here, the melting of the candy corns, another thing that I mentioned early on I would like to see. And then Team Cuisine, I'm still unsure of what they're doing. A lot of vegetables. Looks like they might be searing the scallops possibly. And then the scallops and I'm not sure if it's a kibasi or not mix. Anxious to see with that, raspberries in the first pan. So a lot of different options here that I've seen throughout all the teams. So I'm interested to see what exactly they have to come up with.
2 minutes left, and some of these groups have not even started plating yet. I'm getting very nervous.
I'm a little bit nervous as well. Team Double Trouble here looks like they're again a little bit of double trouble right now.
They are. They're just turning on the burner for
something else.
There.
I hope it's for something very important to their dish.
It's not going to make it.
See, lean Cuisine, they're already plating over there. They're cleaning up the plates. That's great. Not sure. What, 2 scoops?
Yeah.
Or half a scoop of heaven. I hope it's a full scoop. That's what I'd like.
It looks like the team in the corner is also plating, which is a good thing, and putting on some finishing touches.
And it looks like they were tasting their scallops earlier, as all the other judges have said. Cooking those scallops well, so they're not too chewy, is key.
Wise move.
Agreed.
30 seconds!
Okay, it's too much spice.
They're starting to scramble.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
job, everybody. You're all hard at work for 30 minutes to make a delicious meal from sea scallops, apple blossoms, candy corn, and pepper jelly. Now, we're going to introduce your meals one at a time. I'd like the team captains to come up here and give the judges their meals.
We decided we wanted to make a sea scallop shish kebab minus the stick because they didn't have any. So we had to arrange them on the plate. We took some red and yellow peppers and some mushrooms and zucchini and summer squash and sauteed those. We had a sauce with the pepper jelly, the apple blossoms, and some soy sauce and things, secret ingredients. And then we also made a candy corn dressing for the fruit.
The fruit is delicious.
I like the touch of raspberry with it.
Yeah, the raspberry is a nice touch, but the utilization of the candy corn, however, backfired.
I think, color's nice.
And it was a pretty presentation.
I'm having trouble with the candy corn though. It keeps getting stuck in my teeth. I would have liked to have seen it be served, the candy corn right on top, warm on the dish. Then it'd have been a little bit easier to chew.
Up next, Team 2, led by Sam Jones. Team, what do you have for our judges today?
We did a sausage scallop mix. We cooked it in butter and the pepper jelly that was one of the ingredients. And then we crushed up raspberries in it to kind of give a sweet to counteract how spicy the jelly was. And then with the other two ingredients, we made an applesauce and we added some caramel, some cloves, and we actually melted the candy corn into the applesauce, and it actually made a pretty nice flavor and it gave it a nice red color.
Hey, that's nice.
Very nice flavor.
Wow.
What, the red?
No.
Scallops are very tricky to cook. If you cook them too long, they end up being a little bit too chewy. You only need about a minute or so on each side with a nice sear.
I love to do this. I love to open my fridge at home and just like take 7 different leftovers and make something out of it, or fresh things. So for me, it was, and that's why I got excited when I saw this competition, because I was like, hey, it's great. It's a chance to do what I love. So it was a really fun time, and you know, I thought we had a strong start. And looked like the judges were happy, so we'll see.
I know, it just blows my mind.
Spot on.
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
I highly suggest you try, yeah.
Thank you, chefs. Up next, the third team, led by Yvonne Baldoff.
We did an appetizer trio, and we kind of gave it a theme as a tour along the eastern United States. So we did a scallop topped with bacon hot pepper jam, something southern, and then Washington, D.C., we kind of did an international apple blossom / Thai scallop. And then our third part of the appetizer was a sweet ending. It's kind of supposed to be like a little like dessert pie in a way.
It's in the middle.
So the North went to the South. So the North also reached the flatbread too. So I'm getting a taste of the Thai sauce mixed with the bread, mixed with the corn, candy corn.
Yeah, it's a little bit soggy on the bottom versus staying nice and crisp.
Actually, that melted candy corn in the bread is really good.
Very sweet.
Thank you, chefs. Up next, our last team for this evening, Team 4, led by Chris Hardy. What do you have for our judges today?
We did a sweet and spicy bacon apple scallop. It's a 3-part dish. For us, there was the sauce, and that was the sweet and the spicy together, and then the scallop itself, and then a crostini on the side.
Didn't turn out as great as we wanted, but I mean, they didn't spit it out, so.
And then,
What was the reason for cutting the scallops in half?
Yeah, we were actually worried about undercooking them. We've never done scallops before, so this was new to us. We figured we would have less of a problem the smaller they were.
All right, chefs, now that the judges have tasted all of your dishes, you're going to have some time to decide who they think deserves to be the Top Chef champion. So please excuse us for a moment while we decide, and we'll come back here in a little bit and crown the winner. Lots of unique ingredients in these baskets and a lot of unique takes on things. Do you think they utilized the basket ingredients as well as they could have?
All of them really utilized everything that was in the basket. However, some succeeded more than others did. For the majority, a couple teams had some problems with the candy corns. The candy corns were a little too hard on a couple of the dishes, and then other teams did them in a different way, and it worked out very nicely. So overall, great job by the teams and the utilization, and also the utilization of the pantry as well. A lot of great ingredients back there that could have been used in these dishes, and I can see that they used those to spruce things up.
The Go Brit or Go Home team, I love the presentation with the mint garnish and the 3 different elements on the plate.
I think they really thought about their dish and how it was going to come together at the end versus just hoping, crossing their fingers and hoping for the best. It seemed like they put a lot of thought process and creativity into their dishes. Plus, for me, the scallops were perfectly cooked. It had a nice sear on it. It wasn't overdone. It wasn't chewy. It was
They tasted it before they presented. I didn't see anyone else tasting their scallop before they
brought it to the table. I agree. Team 4, for me, I think they did a great job. A little bit lacking in the usage of the ingredients. Again, it seemed like there was a lot of thought process. It just seemed like we were hoping for the best.
Do we have a winner?
I think we do.
All right, chefs, thank you for all of your hard work today. A lot of work was put in to make some delicious meals for our judges, and the results have been tallied. Our 3rd and 4th place runners-up are the teams led by Chris Hardy and Pat Brister. And our 1st place team, the team that has the privilege to be called top chefs at Waynesburg University, is the team led by Sam Jones.
What?
Be sure to look out for these Top Chef champions' faces on campus. On behalf of WCTV, thank you for watching. This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.